hearing something dirty come out of like, "Hi, I just delivered brownies for the bake sale."
That's it.
My husband's cock. It's a contrast. What was the question? I feel like I'm getting in trouble.
All of the knots, all of the guac, all of the pesos, all of the pollo, all of the knots, all of the guac.
Fucking say it, dog.
Well, are we
Yeah, we're going. We're rolling.
I didn't know we
Are
were
we?
rolling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to?
I want to hear.
No, I'm saying,
just
do you
go.
want to do soup sandwich?
No, just
Yeah,
go.
you just did it. You just did it. Now that's actually
that's it.
gonna be it. So go ahead.
So Friday, I texted the ex.
Oh fuck.
You guys have to listen.
Here we go.
Y'all have to listen.
Okay.
He's probably going to get real mad at me for sharing this with the world, but whatever.
We never met the ex, but
They
we've
just-
talked about him a bunch.
He doesn't like me.
He's
I
a
got a guy.
motif
He doesn't like me.
podcast.
I said, I've honestly been thinking about trying to date you again. Do you think we should try this weekend? I just like hang out and see if we can fall in love again. And he goes,
But you were serious?
He goes, I'm open to the conversation. I said, April Fool's, fool.
Oh my god!
Damn,
what
Bree.
a fucked up motherfucker!
What a perfect first impression.
Jesus
goes-
Christ!
He goes, that was fucking dirty. He goes, you're a bitch.
That
And I
is
was-
so fucking funny, bro. That is fucked up. That's fucking
Oh shit!
God, this guy's gonna fucking hate us.
Well,
He
I
was
mean, I've never
mad,
said anything
mad.
bad about him, so I've honestly said
this
the
is
one,
like
the
in
one,
the-
the one thing I
Fuck
did,
him.
the one thing I did say about him is when he was like, and he's an animal, dude. The guy was like over at somebody else's house texting you at two different places. I'm like, this dude is just
Yeah.
rocking out with his cock out, just cheating like crazy, man.
And this is in the beginning
He wasn't
of the
bad, and he wasn't bad at it.
And this is the beginning of the episode, so people are gonna listen. And see
Yeah,
this.
people are gonna
It
at
doesn't have
least
to
make
be.
it this far.
It didn't have to be.
People are gonna at least make it this far.
Amy Brown, what's up?
Hi.
How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome to Soup Sandwich. Welcome to Ackworth. Have you ever been to Ackworth before?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It's all a blur. OTP for me.
That's right.
My life is just like a 3-mile triangles, like the grocery store, the school, home, rinse and repeat, and then whatever clubs. I have gone out OTP to do brewery shows.
Sure.
And things like that, but I just follow my GPS, so I don't really know where I am.
So Amy's a comedian. We met her at Fetch, which is an insane place to do comedy.
It's
People probably think we're
wild.
so weird for the amount of
that
comedians
you
that we
bring
just
them
meet at
from.
the dog park. People,
Yeah.
it's really hard to picture what goes on at the dog park and why
But they do them
have
all the time.
met-
It's so weird.
and why we've met so many people.
I
there.
ran into Oaks the other day, actually,
Really?
at Big Sky.
I heard he's got big plans for that place.
Yeah.
We were talking to.
He's in
about
Hawaii
him-
right now.
Yeah, we were talking about him a couple of weeks ago. Oh, you were here for Dexter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What they got going on out there is cool.
he's a cool dude.
For
I
the
love him.
dog park?
Friends.
Yeah.
It's wild as a performer to try to tell jokes while dogs are running around and humping
Yeah,
they
and
are.
barking, and it's a trip. It's fun, but it's definitely like, oh, you better have your set memorized, and so you can be thinking other things while you're
Otherwise you're like,
trying to tell your
"Squirrel."
jokes. Yeah, exactly.
And you said you've been doing this for like 4 years.
Yeah, 4.5.
So you have, I mean, you're like a mom. You have a husband. You have a regular life, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do stand-up
You're like
comedy.
a mom.
It's right.
No, she's a mom. They said like, no, I
You're like a mom.
I just can't imagine that most female comedians don't go the route you did.
Right, it's my midlife crisis activity, and I love it. It's a meaty bone to chew on. It's filling a hole that had been there my whole life. I just didn't know what to do with it, and for the first 20 years of my
2
life,
in a row.
That's it.
Just gonna leave them there.
think
hole.
you
And
just
are we
leave
doing
there.
whole jokes?
I think so.
It was a whole and a meaty bone joke for sure. Absolutely. It was top
Yes,
of the mind.
I needed a
Yes.
meaty bone
It
to
was-
fill my hole.
It was
It was a loose, blown out hole from having the children.
You did go
The
back to back
O-rings
on
got blowed off it.
That's
How
it.
many kids do you have?
I have 2,
Oh.
and they're teenage boys, and they don't need me anymore. I'm just there.
Do they
for-
watch your comedy?
Well, that's
What do
a
they
great
think when you-
question.
when you tell a highbrow pussy joke? What do they say about
So
that?
they don't. I don't let them watch. I don't post those on social media.
Okay.
I did have my older son's very good at computers. I had him put some subtitles on my cleaner jokes during the pandemic to post on the internet.
But they're on YouTube.
My jokes,
Yes.
but not all the really crazy ones. You haven't seen my really crazy ones.
No, I've seen some YouTube ones though.
Yeah, they're playfully dirty is my hashtag. Dirty. My husband's an atomic physicist.
Yep.
So
pretty cool.
I kind of did a lot of musical theater. So my comedy is like us being married together. We're complete opposites on every spectrum, including the real one, like the real spectrum where you're like, oh, how opaque are you? You know? So that's where I get a lot of my material from, and where I get my largest laughs from. I think seeing something dirty, hearing something dirty come out of like, hi, I just delivered brownies for the bake sale.
That's it.
My husband's cock. You know, it's a contrast. What was the question? I feel like I'm getting in trouble.
No, you're not getting in trouble.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
Oh yeah,
No.
getting into it. Oh, so I have 2 stories about getting into comedy midlife. The first one actually got published in Shout Out Atlanta, was this article I wrote, and it's somewhat true. I was on my sofa like drinking a bunch of nighttime. The kids were in bed. I was drinking a bunch of Pinot Grigio because I'm a white lady from Buckhead and eating Cheez-It crackers. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to die here. Like, I just saw my future, like every night, the same thing. Like, I've got to do something. And I was looking on my phone and I saw an advertisement for improv classes at the Basement Theater, which is now closed, but I loved it. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to sign up for this. And I signed up my best friend too at the same time, because it was like, might as well do it together with someone. And I loved improv, and I did that for like a year. And then I was like, I'm ready for the next step. And
It's good practice, huh?
it is good practice, and it's good stage time.
That's what my brother is doing right now.
Yeah,
And there's-
I've seen some people that are like 20-year fucking lifers of improv, and they're just so fucking
quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The shit's crazy.
And there's tropes you can take from improv that are universal for comedy, like something that's happening in popular culture. If you bring that into what's happening in a scene, people lose their minds. They're like, that's happening right now, and they applied it to the scene. Also, any sort of callback, if you call back something from earlier in the scene, people lose their mind, and that's the same thing with comedy. So that's the kind of PG story I tell about why I got into it. The real story is that
Imagine my surprise when you said you had a lab or a retriever. Living in
I
Buckhead.
know.
I bet you were
Drinking
floored.
Pinot Grigio. Come here, lab retriever.
Yeah.
Whichever.
Labrador Retriever. I check all the uptight white lady boxes.
What
I
do
play
you drive?
tennis.
Definitely do.
Driving
I have a-
Tahoe?
I have a Tesla.
Okay.
I was going to say either a Range Rover or a Tesla was what I was going with.
Yeah.
A Tahoe. That's Paulding County. white
No,
lady.
it's definitely not.
That's
That's
Paulding County.
redneck
No.
Riviera
Yeah,
car.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
more Tahoes in Paulding County than...
Yeah, there's more 1998 ones.
No new ones. No, there's so many of
There's
them.
not a lot of $70,000
Not in Seven Hills.
Tahoes
Not
and-
in Seven Hills and
Tons of
Billwater.
Tahoes, man. Tons of Tahoes.
A lot of Tahoes.
Tons
they're
of
expensive
little
as
white
fuck.
lady Tahoes.
Or
Yeah.
Cadillacs.
Like
The
that.
You're
SUV
proving my
Cadillacs.
point.
But they're all expensive now, though, Bailey.
All
the
the
cars.
cars- all the
All cars
cars
are
are.
expensive. $70,000 is not that much for a car anymore.
But if you drive
Yes, it
into
is.
Buckhead, it's usually
Not a
Teslas,
brand new
Range
car.
Rovers, Maseratis,
Yes, it
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
A brand new SUV.
Yeah, brand new, like 75% or 80% more of the cars are
It's like when I used to
it's
drive
been
to
an ongoing-
30,000.
it's
When I
been
go
an on-
party in Buckhead and I like valet my Honda, I'm like, park that shit next to the Maserati for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do.
That's been an ongoing joke for Paulding County people for years. Is the white lady that's going to soccer with a Tahoe though? That's just what it was.
My
But you
kids
have
don't
to,
play
in
soccer.
Buckhead to do it right, you have to have like 110-pound lady, 115-pound, real thin, blonde woman in the biggest SUV possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the stickers on the back with like a little family
The-
stick figures
Nope.
Oh.
or
no.
the peace sign
No, this
thing.
is what you
No.
do. You do your private school your child goes to,
Yeah.
and then if
yeah,
it's
that's right.
Westminster,
My kid
you
is an
do
honor
all-
student.
You do all the stickers because it shows how many years you've been there. Because they do it, they layer them, and I think only Westminster people do that.
Right.
Y'all are getting the inside scoop. Do you want to hear the real story about why I started doing
Sure.
it? Okay, so I was at a party.
The first one was a lie. This one's true.
Well, this is like the precursor to that sofa moment. I was at a party in Buckhead. I was like 39 years old, and I was there without my husband. It was like a birthday party for a friend, and we're on like they cleaned out the furniture in the living room. People are having fun. Like people are starting to dance, and a guy grabbed my ass. And I was like, "Oh, like that hasn't happened in a while." Like,
Hello.
I don't like. I have a nice ring. Like I look married. You know, it's Buckhead. Like I'm standing where my friend puts her Christmas tree usually. I'm like, I didn't know I needed to be ready for that. And I let it go. I'm like, what? I kind of step away. I step away. I don't address it, which I should have addressed in retrospect. And then later that night, where everyone's out in the patio and we're like shag dancing, and he's asked me to shag dance, and I'm like, sure, that was probably an accident earlier. And then
was there cuppage?
He wasn't hurt. Like,
oh, so it wasn't an accident.
it was like me.
Was
And
he hot? Was he at least good looking?
no, it's buckhead. Old people.
Old people.
It
Old
takes
rich
a while
people.
to make money. It takes a while to make money.
Her husband is an atomic
Physicist.
So I'm assuming he makes a little bit of money.
He does well. That later we're out on the patio and he asked me to dance, and his hand grazed my breast, and I felt it like a lot, and I was like, oh shit.
Both? Because he went all the way through?
It was like we were, one of those things where they were doing the swirly shag dancing, whatever.
Dude's a creep, man.
Yeah, and I freaked out. I started crying. Instead of like making a joke or whatever, I started like crazy crying. Nice. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm having a meltdown. So I grab my purse, I run to the car, and I start like hysterically crying. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And it just bubbled up inside of me. I'm like, oh, this is the time when I was a waitress and the owner of the bar slapped my ass when I was going to deliver drinks. And the time when I was 21 and I was flying for the first time by myself, and I walked through first class and a stranger pinched my butt, and I turned around, I couldn't tell who it was, and I didn't say anything. So it was like a lifetime of being a woman and not knowing what to say, and so then not saying anything. And I was just like, just like weeping, feeling very helpless, and letting myself down, really. All of this could have been handled if I knew how to handle it.
Sure.
And I think part of it is my upbringing, being, like a nice girl. You're supposed to not swear and smack people or whatever, or cause a scene, be the bitch at the party causing a scene. And I went to my therapist and we talked about it. I told my husband, and he's like, if someone grabbed my ass, I would punch them in the face and I'd break their arm. I'm like, well, it must be nice to be a man and be able to be that strong and do that. Then when I was on the sofa, fast forward, drinking wine, eating Cheez-Its, I'm like, I need to learn to communicate better. I'm going to do improv. And then that has been a key to really healing a lot of this. Like now I feel like if I've been in a park with dogs running around, communicating through a microphone, like just getting faster with my brain and what I want to say. And also the best part about improv too is you have to be honest. Like if you're on stage and your pants fall down, you have to be like, I'm on stage and my pants just fell down, and then move from there, because you can't ignore it. The audience can see it. Gotcha. And so like I should have said when that guy touched my hand, like, your hand's on my butt and you're not my husband. What are we going to do with that? Like, there's so many different things I could say now because of the training I've gotten from improv and stand-up. That
we should set that up where that guy will do that again, so you can really get into him.
Definitely not. Definitely.
Or
not.
her husband's there too at the same time. The guy doesn't know it's her husband, and then he punches him afterwards. So you make fun of him. You beat him mentally, and your husband beat him up physically.
We do not want to have a Chris Rock thing happening. No, my husband should not be punching people.
Do you think that's real?
I think it is, because he was yelling, and then he was crying.
Whose
later.
side are you on?
Oh my gosh, Chris Rock.
Same.
Oh my gosh, he took a punch and kept riffing. I'm like, that guy has been through some parts.
So
I mean, Will Smith
so
is
Joey
screwed.
he says he doesn't think it's real, and I honestly think it was real. But Joey's like, I don't think it's real because they show you what they want to show you because of the lag in time. It's not really live. None of that's really live.
There's a beat, I'm sure.
Right. So if they didn't want to show it to you, they didn't have to. So he says he thinks it was.
I'm terrible at researching things on the internet, but I felt like I saw things videoed with phones from people in the audience of Denzel Washington going and putting his arms around him and talking to him, and then Bradley Cooper did the same thing to not Chris Rock, to Will Smith.
Yeah.
Which I think
and
probably
Tyler Perry did the same thing supposedly.
There's also slow-mos. He didn't punch him, he slapped him.
He did.
And also right now, like, I was in between two. Like, first I thought it was real, then I thought it was fake, and then right now Will Smith is like losing everything. Like, Netflix and another company were in a bidding war to like do his life story, and both of them backed out, so now he has nothing.
Just for a slap?
But like,
Well,
sucks.
he also
It's not-
yelled at him. Like he totally had a. Okay, male menopause is a real thing. First of
Yeah.
all, we need to address that. Will Smith, I bet 1,000% is on some sort of hormones to make him continue to have muscles and get boners because he's going through midlife.
Muscles and boners.
Muscles and boners. It's because he's going through midlife, and I think it's bubbling up. If you've ever had a woman going through menopause and she has a meltdown, he basically had a hissy fit meltdown in front of everybody.
Sure.
So
I
he's,
think-
he's showing people he doesn't know how to act right.
I think that Jada has put him through the fucking ringer the past couple of years with all the shit that she's been doing. So I think that was building up.
Do you think that was about
So
Jada?
instead of going to cry in a car for Will Smith, he goes up on stage and smacks a comedian.
That's so weird. I think he just went insane.
I literally don't know. I mean, I love
I
Will
mean,
Smith
she
and I love
she
Fresh
has
Prince, so
put
it's
him through
really hard.
shit. I mean, did
Has she?
She
Yeah,
cheated on him with
She
like,
fucked with one of her kids' friends.
And then she
And that was
had
out
a
there.
situation
You
shit.
guys have your finger on the pulse.
She said Tupac was like the love of her life, like all this stuff.
Yeah, that's been on the news.
And he's,
though,
like,
in the
sitting there
last-
crying.
And this has been the last 5 years though, right? It's been a long, like
I've read
They've
both
been out in
sides of
open.
it. Like, I mean, I've read both sides of it where it's like he's been through so much, and then also like men like get shit on if they have emotions, like because like when he was crying, like girls were like, "Pussy," like stick up
crying
for
when he was
yourself.
getting a speech.
No, crying when he when pretty much he was sitting at the Red Table Talk or whatever,
Oh.
and they were like talking to him, and he was like crying when they were
got
like,
a meme
she was
made
like,
out of
"Sorry,
him.
I had a situation." Yeah, there's literally there's memes about him, and like there's
Oh, so did you think he had this built-up idea in his mind that he needed to be a man,
right.
perceived
because
by
he
the
was
world?
laughing at the joke first, and then he looked over at his wife, and she was like, and then he was like, "Oh no, never mind."
Yeah, then he went crazy. Well,
See,
oh, well, male menopause. I'm gonna go back to that one.
and then she was like,
I don't think that he should lose a lot of shit for it. It's just
I
a
don't-
slap, man.
That's not
that's
our
what I'm
choice
saying.
to make. That's those.
if I
companies.
get
Yeah,
up
no,
right,
for sure.
if I get up right now and just slap her across the face, I mean,
you're gonna lose all your Netflix shows.
right, like not Netflix, but I mean, she could call the cops on me for assault.
Of course, so could he. Chris Rock could have got
Yeah,
him arrested.
they-
Supposedly, the Academy is like kicking him out.
No, he resigned.
Resigned because they wanted to kick him
And
out.
they went to ask Chris if he Chris Rock, yeah, if he wanted to file
said
charges,
no.
and he said no. And I think that's actually
Solid.
solid.
That's how you. That's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do if you're in entertainment. Don't do that. It's petty.
Yeah,
But,
it
I
would
mean,
come across as like, really?
Did you see
yes.
at the Grammys though? Everybody,
It's a slap. He didn't beat him until he fucking broke a bone or something. He slapped him, man. Get
was
out of here.
at
and the
work,
guy
in front of everyone.
Here's what I would have done though. But it's Chris Rock. He's a comedian, right? He just gave him millions of dollars, and he doesn't have to sue him. Doesn't at all.
What do you mean?
He's gonna sell out all his stand up because people are gonna want. He's gonna do 3 and 4 more shows now
He
in
already
every
sold
city.
out all of
Yeah.
Boston. He already
Everyone's
sold out.
on his side.
But literally,
Yes, and
he
they want to
opened
hear.
up the
They
show-
want to hear them talk about it.
He's not going to. Literally in Boston, he started his show with saying, "Thank you guys all for being here, but if y'all want to talk about this, I'm not talking about it."
I read that article too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he got a standing ovation though.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then
Fucking
somebody yelled
whack.
out, "Fuck Will
He'll
Smith."
talk about it.
I would talk
Somebody
about
yelled
Not
out.
yet.
Somebody yelled out, "Fuck Will Smith," and he was like, "No, don't do that. Like, stop." He stopped that. Then his brother is also a comedian. His like younger brother is a comedian. Went on
Tony
stage and he like went off. He was like, "Y'all don't know. Like, he don't know who he's fucking with. There's like 10 of us Rock brothers." He was like, "You're not even gonna know like who you're fucking with."
I think it would take 3.
He's more mad about it than
Rocks
Chris Rock is.
Yeah.
And
beat up Will
then
Smith.
both of them.
And then at the
How
Grammys,
far it's gone.
at the Grammys, all the comedians and everybody were like making a joke about it. Like one guy was like, "Don't worry, we're gonna keep names out of our fucking mouths." Another comedian came up there with the helmet on. He goes, "Well, comedians have to wear these on stage now." So
Well, I need to sell tickets to my show on Wednesday night, so if you want to slap me, that'd be great. It's at the Old Fourth Ward Distillery.
Throw in.
It's
Got
every
it.
other Wednesday. It's called Finely Crafted Cocktails and Comedy. Chink chink.
chink chink.
It's a
So
great show.
so
We
you
gotta make that.
so the thing at the party happened. You went and took an improv.
Oh, yeah.
You went and took an improv class. How long before you got on stage and did the stand up after improv?
A year.
So
Yeah.
you did a full year.
Yeah. The
Okay.
first day I did a real set in front of an audience. My nephew was born, so I can keep that track of that date easily. It was like stepping into a warm bath. I was terrified. Have you seen those movies when a bomb's exploded and the
never heard
people's
that analogy.
ears, people's what?
I've never heard
Stepping
that
into a
analogy.
warm
So
bath, I was terrified.
But like it felt good. But like when a bomb explodes in a movie and you hit the character hears ringing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I'm like, I think people are laughing, but I can't hear anything because I'm in crisis. But at the same time, it felt familiar and comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, so is that dichotomy. I'm now at the point where I'm like, I can be on stage. I can hear what's happening. Like
Walk around, enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, anxiety diarrhea stopped after a year. That's nice. Weight loss, though. It's good.
It's good for not eating.
Yeah, seriously.
So how many shows do you do a week?
An average, I would say 2. Like sometimes I have 3, sometimes I have 1.
Does your husband come to the shows? Because
So,
you don't want your kids to come?
Yes, my husband is the best comedy spouse. He has a great laugh, but he's also honest. Like he's not a fake laugher.
So like
He's
if
very-
you're not funny, he does not laugh.
Right. It's, do you know like like Mr. Darcy, the character Mr. Darcy from Jane Austen? He's very like honorable and stoic and not like a chatty person. That's my husband. Like, but when he giggles, it's wonderful.
Like you earned it.
Yes, and I did an hour-long set in Fort Worth, Texas, in January, and he sat next to the camera, and I can hear him laughing at all the different jokes, and I'm like, I didn't know he liked that one. Like, I was like, that's cool.
Do you not practice on him? Like, do you not?
No. Oh no, he's terrible at judging what's going to be funny. No, that's a waste of time.
So you
That's
work
a joke in itself,
Yeah,
right?
you work all your stuff out on stage.
I'll talk to friends. Like I'll try to be cool. I'm like, I just bras, and like pretend it's not a bit I'm working on. But my friends can tell now, and they'll actually. I have funny friends, and they'll give me tags and things like that. But mostly on stage, because you never know. Like you can make your friends laugh about something, but usually it's an inside joke.
Right.
Yeah.
To get strangers to laugh at something, it has
It's
to
like
be
you have to be there or something. yeah.
universal. And there's what's shocking to me about comedy is learning how much of we think we all are experiencing the same thing, but we really are not, as like Americans, and our country's so big and we have all these little pockets of experience. So, and then age, I've got a lot of jokes that are funny for people who are 40 years old and older that I have to take out of my set because no one knows what I'm talking about.
What when you're like how far do you want to go? Like what if like you couldn't go to the grocery store anymore?
Oh my gosh, no, that sounds no one's.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So I love.
And I'm not saying that because that's crazy. That's like way far
But
out
like,
there.
and what stand-up comedian is that famous? All of them, I think, live pretty normal
They do.
lives. I mean, Ellen might be but she's also a talk show host. I like.
well,
Kathleen.
Rogan probably can't do it anymore.
Really? Do you think people notice him?
Yeah, probably.
I don't think I'd be able to pick up. Like, that's another bald guy.
I mean, there's
Okay.
3 million people watch him every episode on thing.
But they're spread across the world because it's
Right.
not all in.
But he sells out.
Austin.
He sells out. He doesn't do the small ones anymore. He sells out like the huge venues.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was walking by her in a grocery store right now, and I'd be like, I feel like she's a comedian.
You would absolutely know who Joe Rogan is if you saw him, though.
I just know him from like all the other shit. That
He
he's
can
done.
go out to restaurants though. He's not fucking Robert Downey Jr.
But I think that's because. But I think that's
But if I
because
saw
of who
Dave
he is,
Chappelle out,
and he
I'll
can.
be like,
he's gotten a really
holy
good
fuck, that's Dave
handle
Chappelle.
on
Or
it.
Kevin Hart, I'd be like, please roast me.
Kevin Hart or like The Rock is like that.
They're
level.
really real famous.
You really
The Rock's not a
need to
comedian.
go in
I'm terrible
public.
at recognizing celebrities. I should have said that at the beginning. Yeah, I like Kathleen Madigan. I like what she's done. Like, do you know her?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Pull it
Bailey looking at his phone.
No, I'm sorry. Keep going
You're
on.
boring him.
Yeah, who? Old people? Okay. Let mommy and daddy talk. It's okay, sweetheart. Do you know-
By the way, you said it before. You said that's both your kids' names.
Yes.
Is Bailey and
Oh
Cooper.
yeah. It's there she is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's got a Netflix special.
Yes.
She travels.
she's
She does
funny as
theaters.
shit.
She's got a podcast called The Pubcast. I think she lives outside of Tennessee, and has like a lake house, and then travels. She's close with Lewis Black.
She does. She's been with him forever.
And the guy
ranch
who
ball.
does the tater salad joke, Ron White.
Ron White,
they're
yep.
close. But she knows all the cities. So my youngest son leaves for college in 3 years. I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. So my goal is to have to be good enough at comedy. I can at least feature at clubs, get out of the house, travel the world, see everything, experience some things. I'm ready now. I can make sure people don't touch my butt. I got all my words locked and loaded.
There you go.
That's my goal, is to go have fun with it. And I would love to, this might be something that can't happen. I would love to have an hour of clean material that is like not dorky, that people, like, I don't feel like a dork saying
Sure.
that people laugh at. I love Nate Bargatze. He's clean. He's completely clean, and he's so
Gaffigan's pretty
funny.
clean.
So Gaffigan is harder for me to relate to because he does voices of like, he steps out of he does like the audience reflecting on
Yes,
him. He does
that's
that
right.
less now than he did originally, but he's also doing like the accent of the guy in Boston. Like, we got leaves here. Like, he does all those voices.
He does.
And he stands real still.
But he's clean.
He is clean.
Yeah.
Right now I get the hardest laughs though on my dirty material.
Of course you
and
do.
that's part of it here. The journey of a comedy, everyone starts pretty dirty, and then they figure out how to write a joke, and then it gets better from there. But then I could do shows during the day at women's organizations. It would be nice to have something to do during the day as well, besides traveling.
You don't want to be an empty nester?
Oh my gosh, I don't like that word. Empty nest. That sounds so sad because you
You
can't.
go ahead and pick it up. I know you want to.
Everything is falling off my chair right now because you said
Let's
empty
hope so,
nester,
Nikki.
and I'm falling apart. No, I'm sure it'll. No, I don't. I wanted to have children. I love my children. I have boys, so they're still nice to me.
Do you think that they'll like? I mean, because you said they're 14 and what?
16.
So you said they don't watch your stuff, which they probably have. They've probably gone on YouTube watch it. But in 4 years, 5 years, they come to you and you're like, man, that is just too dirty for you to say you're my mom. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I mean, really, sweetheart, because you used to come into my room and wiggle your wiener around in a helicopter.
That's what you'd say to them?
And that's what they do to me. Like, we have I'd be surprised. So my comedy is playfully dirty.
Yes.
I've heard someone describe it as naughty. It's not. It's not like really raunch. Like, it's a little. Well,
Right.
I do talk about cum on the face.
It's pretty dirty.
Oh, right. It's making my armpit sweat just saying it. But as a reactionary tale, like, it's not like, give me cum on my face. I'm like, what are we talking
Invited
about?
it.
I'm like,
we only.
okay, let me do the joke.
All right, do it.
Okay. So someone asked me, this is true. I was getting, I gained weight during the pandemic, and I had to get new dresses, and I was getting them hemmed. And the lady who's hemming them, she goes, "Oh, you're pregnant, right?" And I was like, "Oh my God, bitch, are you trying to fight me?" And I was like thinking about, like, why are people still asking this? I think, as a society, we decided to stop asking women if they're pregnant. But I think I figured out what we should say back as women. We should just be like, I'm not pregnant, but
Yeah.
I completely understand why you would say that. I do look like I catch a lot of dick. Like, my aura is just dick magnet. I can't help it. I do get offered a lot of seats, but it's not because of my baby bump. No, it's because I look like I've been pounded by a symphony of cocks. And I just need to take a load off, Well, more than one load, if you know what I mean. And then I wipe my face like it's covered in loads. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, I ask the audience. I'm like, it's not laundry.
Yeah. So how old do your kids have to be to hear that one?
They can hear that one now.
So they're 14 and 16.
They're 1,000% watching porno.
That's fucking awesome.
So I told that you remember me telling this story it was on Soup Sandwich or Burn Barrel like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where my wife walks down and it's us sitting by a fire, and this 65, 70-year-old dude that's the grandpa of this house that we're at. And he walks in, we're all
Sounds like
sitting
a
on,
dream.
and Allison, no, it's true. Allison walks in. She's got one of those big North Face jackets on, the bubble jackets, right? And she walks in, and this is my wife. And the guy goes, "When are you expecting?"
Oh.
And she goes, "Well, I'm not ever wearing this jacket again," and walks inside. And I looked at the dude after she walked in. And I was like, "Hey, how old are you?" And he was like 68. I'm about to be 68. I was like, "Well, you know fucking damn well better. You're supposed to make that mistake one time in your life." Yeah.
Hopefully
and
that was your
never
first time.
made it
Never
again.
make it again.
No, I bet that motherfucker's done it every year for all his life. He hadn't learned.
I don't know how any adults make that mistake, because I learned that when I was like 7.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
saw
did it
somebody make that mistake, and I was like, I'm never doing that.
I did it in middle school. The
I
one
learned-
time I did it in middle school. I
Yeah.
asked a teacher that I didn't know if she was when she was having a boy or a girl or something, the kid that she was fucking furious at me, and I never did it again. 7th grade.
Do you think about that, like when you're trying to go to sleep at night? Like, oh, I was a dick when I was 7. Like, do you think that? Or
7th grade.
7th grade.
Oh, I'm a dick now. So no,
There was literally.
Is it in your shame wheel? Do you have a shame cycle you listen to?
No, I don't have much of a shame cycle at
I was
all.
a fucking asshole in middle school, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Aw.
I mean, I'll tell you what.
Not my baby.
my brother
No.
was.
I was.
So I'll tell you this. The reason I'm asking those questions is because I got a call from my wife 2 or 3 weeks ago. I called Bailey and told him this and she said, so-and-so called me and said she watched your podcast. And I go, oh, fuck. You know? So I'm going to have this conversation. And I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done on this podcast at all. But I say some crazy shit. And I've done some crazy shit. So let's go through this. And she goes, I'll go, why don't you just watch them all? I told you not to watch them because I don't want to have all these conversations that they don't need to have. But go ahead and watch them all. And she did. She watched them all and she was like, meh. I don't think anything's bad about them. I'm like, all right, cool. We're done with that. We're done with that conversation.
Out of the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she goes, actually, it was really funny.
That's good.
She said, I
Good
thought you were on
review.
there acting single.
That's what she told me.
She was like,
She goes,
no,
I thought you were on there acting single like you didn't have a wife or
It's like,
something.
no, I
was
talk
like,
about you on the podcast constantly. You know
Just can't
now.
say certain
I think
things.
part of it is to paint them in a good light, like
Sure.
you don't want to shit on the people you love, and also if they're vulnerable about something, you don't want to shit on that either. But if there's something that's kind of fair game that is a constant throughout all couples or all boy children, I think you're allowed to call it out if they're okay with it.
Yeah, I also have 2 girls. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, and that's what she said. She goes, "Remember, you have daughters, and they're going to be listening to what you're saying." And I'm like,
I hope they don't listen to this episode. They listen to. I feel bad for what I
No.
just said now.
No, it's cool. And I really talk however I want to talk in front of my kids, even right now. So I'm going that route.
They're being raised with so much pornography. So much. Like I grew up in a dirt road in the country.
I got the magazines like on my counter still. I go old school.
coffee
This is a magazine.
How old are you?
You know, this is a magazine. You don't know what that is, but
Did you find a pile of pornos in the forest? I hear that's something that happens in the South.
no, that's funny. Tell me more about that.
So multiple
what forest
sources.
have you been to?
Multiple sources I've heard. Like men just walk around. They found one found a pile of pornos like in a tree.
What?
In the forest. One found an abandoned car. It was like a pickup truck. And on the passenger side was a pile of pornos.
Well, I believe that. This is horse shit. Where are you hearing this at?
I was hearing it
Like
from
they just walk through
other
random-
parents, the adult parents.
Walking through the woods. Oh, there's a stack of porn.
Like when they're kids.
Yeah, it's how the
Yeah.
generation leaves it behind for the next one.
That's how you pay it forward
Right.
when you're south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Well, I was just showing them what a magazine
Not
was in
anymore. Now you
general,
just
right?
send links.
They don't know what a magazine is, so I was like, "This is a magazine."
Now you
Yeah.
just put a link
They're
in your
more.
group
They're
chat.
more. They're like, "What is that shiny paper?" That
Yeah. I
know?
take a nap every afternoon, and I trained my children not to wake me up during the nap.
Nice.
And one time my son ran into and woke me up. He's like, Mom, someone just dropped off this huge book on our front step. Like it was an emergency. And I was like, what? And I come downstairs. It was a phone book. I'm like, oh, sweetheart, it's a phone book. He's like, a what? I'm like, you sit on this when you can't reach the table.
that's it. That's what you do. That's what you do. Or you need a lawyer. You don't even have to open it for that. You just look on the spine.
That's true. The lawyer advertisement. If you're getting your
$50,000.
lawyers from the advertisement on a phone book, you have more trouble than needing a lawyer.
And that money, or that lawyer has a lot of money.
It made it so much easier to prank call people with phone books. Mm-hmm. You just like run.
Well,
a
not, I mean,
random
you
number.
got Google. Just Google.
I know,
people.
but I'm saying like
numbers.
you
Are,
have to like just type in random numbers now. When phone book just
how often do you
And-
prank? Do you prank call people still?
we used to it. Me and my friend used to all the time, and then we'd stay up late and watch the infomercials and like call. And I feel like so bad now. Like that's a part of my shame. Will
No,
for sure.
you've gotta come in.
Because like
and we
they
gotta go
really wanted to
back-to-back
sell
prank
those
call.
glasses, and me and my friend were like, we really want the tortoiseshell glasses. And how much are those? Okay, can we have 5 of those? And then like we get them all the way to them. And they're like, all right, what's your billing information? Click. And
We gotta do back-to-back prank calls, and you just sit right there. I'll sit right here.
Oh my gosh.
And we'll do them. I did one the other day. It was so awesome.
I would have to like bring different clothes to wear afterwards because I would sweat through all of them.
Really?
Oh my gosh, the shame, the anxiety.
Because you feel sorry for what you're doing?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. I have a tremendous amount of, am I doing the right thing? Like if I get pulled over by a police officer, I start crying right away. I'm like, did I break the rules? Oh my God.
That's
Just like manifest drugs in your center console.
Yes.
You just gotta make it think that it's not a prank call, and then they're like, "Oh, that guy was just an idiot."
Do I smell like weed?
I could do like
You see what I'm saying?
you play someone who's having a psychotic break.
Yes.
That's maybe, I could maybe do that.
I like the wheel of shame thing we were talking about earlier. If we could go around the table. And
Why do you like that?
Because it's interesting to think about what keeps people up at night.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much like terrible things that like we confess our sins here, but
Everybody tells something you're ashamed
My husband
of.
has a good way. He was playing soccer outside of his family didn't have the church they went to, and he kicked the soccer ball through the stained glass window, and that's on his wheel. So he was just playing soccer. It was an accident.
I wouldn't even thought about that the next day.
My parents. My dad did that.
Okay. I don't know what the definition of a serial killer is, but
No, I have different things. Like not being able to afford, not working a little harder because I'm not being able to afford something for my kids, or like grasping onto what I have so I don't lose it, or my kids will have to grow up like dirt poor. That's what stresses me the fuck out.
do you have imprints of that from your childhood?
I don't know.
Going without and feeling. Okay.
Nuh-uh. I don't. I just remember people going like like other friends not being able to afford stuff, and I was like, I never want my kids to be able to like, oh, you can't have that. And my parents they were so cheap they wouldn't pay for shit that like at Six Flags the basketball that everybody had they were dribbling around. Like I buy my kids basketballs and everything that they want. Yeah, go ahead.
Your house is a disaster.
They're gonna be my house is a disaster.
If you buy them all that bullshit.
No. You don't know my wife. She will throw it away as soon as I buy it.
Yep.
It sounds like you guys have a system.
Yes.
I used to do. My dad won me like that big ass tiger, like the one at I think we were at
like one of the fairs,
Epcot or something.
Oh,
we were
okay.
like in Disney World or something. But my dad was always that dad. My dad literally anything I pointed at, I wanted, I got.
We're in the South. I have to double check. Was that a real tiger or?
Hell no. Hell no. I wish it was. I actually wanted. My uncle and my dad were playing like the game where like you throw a ball and you have to hit the target and then you get like the prize, whatever. And my uncle actually won it first, and my cousin knew that my favorite animal was a dolphin at the time, and he got this like fucking whale. Yeah, no, pretty much. He got this like huge whale, and I really wanted that, and my cousin was just a bitch, and he still is. We're blocked on everything. Anyways, he won the whale, would not give it to me, and then my dad ended up winning, but the only thing, like the only big ass stuffed animal that was left was the big white tiger. And I was like, I'll take that. And I was like, maybe he'll trade me because the tiger is a lot more manly than this whale.
Damn right it is.
And he was like, nope. And it was only because he knew I wanted his so bad he would not give it to me. I was like, you're such a little piece of shit.
That's a serial killer.
Real
He probably
real
is.
life.
Literally,
no
he
shame
dated a
wheel.
girl. He literally just dated a girl for
And she's been disappeared for months.
No.
incriminate this man on soup
no,
sandwich.
fuck him. He dated this girl for 7 or 8 years. They live together, have a dog together. Like you would think that an engagement is on the way or something. Literally just broke up with her. Started dating a new girl and is engaged to this new girl after knowing her for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Good for him.
that sounds.
And he
not-
sold his car
You know-
to like buy her the
you know
ring.
when you know.
Yeah, he found what he was looking for. Sorry. Bad
No,
luck.
real life. Okay,
That's
so
psycho.
so you're talking like you buy all that shit. Your house is probably a wreck. You would think that, but on Christmas, the day after Christmas, my wife goes into the basement
Gets
and
all
the playroom
tubs.
with trash bags and goes, "You didn't play with that much last year,"
Yeah.
and fills up about 3 of these trash bags, throws them in
Yeah.
the car, and takes them away.
There's so not. Can I stir the turd a
like
little?
that.
Yes, for sure.
So I've read a lot of parenting books because we don't want to fuck up our kids. And one of the best ways to make sure your child's successful in the long term is that they have prolonged gratification, and they learn to prolong their gratification to do hard work to get to something. So I was just thinking about like every toy they want, you're like, yeah, get it, put it in the car.
Sure. It's not the right thing. I don't care. They're in 25 hours a week of sports, so I hope that balances the other shit out.
Yeah, they work hard. Your kids work hard.
Yeah. I just wanted to stir the turd and see what you would
that's
say
fine.
when I said that.
No. Look, I hope one thing balances the other. I'm like, look, I don't let them eat for 2 or 3 days, and then I feed them a steak. Like, we want this lobster.
Yeah.
So, I do things just to balance the whole spectrum out.
I think that's probably the reason I am the way that I am is because of my parents. Big shout out to them right now. But they made me work for it. Like, I mean, every dollar, like, I work, like, I've been by myself since I was like 19 or working. So I make my own money. Everything is mine. I pay my own bills. But then, like, it's the gratification now that I'm like, I don't need them. Like, my brother, like, is still on their phone plan, still, like, car insurance, like, shit like that. And he's 25. He has a good job now, so he's good. But, like, when I was 19, I was like, I just, like, don't know what that's like. But my brother was also the athlete of the family, so he was, like, full ride to college. Smart one. I was bartending at 19, and I'm still a bartender, so. But I'm, like, the value of a dollar to me, I'm like, I just can't, like, let it go. My brother doesn't know. Like, I'll go spend $100 for nothing. My brother's like, how do you do that? And I'm like, because, like, I know what I'm making. I know what I'm saving. I know my bills that I have to pay.
Well, didn't you said, like, when you do Christmas present, he, like, doesn't give them as good presents as you do?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
my brother, like, didn't have money around Christmas time, and, like, we all thought he'd be in the MLB by this point. So we were like, oh, I'll get a new Range Rover, because when he was 16 and he wrecked my car, like, he was going to back it out of a driveway, and we had, like, this tree on the left side, and he was, like, looking to the right and was turning and killed the front part of my car. He was like, I'll pay you back when I make it to the MLB. I'll buy you whatever car you want. I'm like, sweet. And then he never made it to the MLB. I'm like, you still fucking owe me a Range Rover, homie.
Did he go to college on this? Did he?
Yeah, he went to
finish?
UGA, and then he transferred because he played baseball at UGA, and then he transferred to North Greenville, and then that's when COVID happened because he was going to go back to UGA and get his degree, but then COVID happened and transfer.
What's he majoring
portals.
in? Does he have any chances, or is it like
It was marketing.
art? Okay.
It was marketing. He does marketing for Porsche now, so it's pretty badass.
Maybe he can get you a Porsche.
Yeah, maybe there's a chance.
That's what I'm talking about.
Art, marketing.
Fine line.
I got my degree. I got my degree in communications.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a degree in economics, but I don't remember anything. All I remember is my musical theater classes. I took a lot of those. So yeah, the
I hate
marketability.
school.
Did you hate it?
Hate school.
I was dyslexic. I had to work so hard. at it.
Oh, I could study
Yeah.
all day long.
I was
and
too,
Still
and I quit.
put a test in front of me, and I'm like, I like just always second guess myself. My gut would tell me the answer is B, and then I'm like, maybe C.
How did you meet your husband?
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. So I was in college, and I was dating this guy, and he was at this. I went to a women's college. I'm checking all the white lady boxes.
Yeah.
I promise.
Oh yeah.
It's in Virginia, and I was dating this guy at a school nearby who was going to Washington and Lee University.
Do you think the boys will come over today?
Yeah.
Yes, we had a lot of socials. We had cocktails. We had tailgating, but not like at a football game. At like the races with the horses. It was very like
Big hats.
sun hats,
Yeah, big hats.
pearls, Crown Royale, a lot of that. I know what that tastes like coming in and going out. And he and I dated for like 2 years. And then we broke up, but I had become friends with the guy who's now my husband and his twin brother and his twin brother's fiance. And to the point where I was in his twin brother's wedding. And my husband was the best man. And I started to have a crush on him at the rehearsal dinner because he gave this really nice speech about welcoming his new sister-in-law into the family. And I was like, oh my God, Kenton has feelings. Because he was studying physics. Like they're kind of like square, opaque kind of folks, Mr. Darcy's. And I started to have a crush on him. And then, of course, I started acting like a total nerd, just like not like, like with not knowing what to do.
Oh, I thought you were like trying to be a scientist. You're like, hey, did you hear about
Just straight.
Just read this article.
Big Bang
Yeah.
Theory.
Yeah, just read something real quick. It's like, hey, did you know that?
The electron accelerator, blah, blah, blah. No, I can't. I can't even play in that water. And the bride threw, like at the reception, the bride threw the bouquet. It landed on the floor. I don't know what that means. People
like,
are like,
ran in.
no one wants to get married. And and it blew up. The bouquet blew up, and there was flowers everywhere. And in my heart, I'm like, this is bad. Let me pick up these flowers. I pick them up, and I was making like a little small bouquet of it. And my now mother-in-law comes over, wraps her hands around my hands, holding the bouquet, and looks at me, and she goes, "Is there anyone here you're thinking of marrying?" And I shit my pants. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how can she tell? Can she tell I'm like being weird around
What an
her son?
alarming
Can she?
question.
Yeah. It was,
She knows.
It was so weird. And I freaked out. I'm like, no, I've been thinking a lot about my career lately. So and then she must have figured out I was squirrely for a reason. And then she told her husband to invite me to come visit their son, who I'm now married to, for the 4th of July. And
What a fucking matchmaker.
Yeah.
Were
an arranged marriage.
Were they the type of parents to let y'all stay in the same room?
Oh, hell no.
Upstairs?
Hell
No.
no.
My parents would. Their parents would not.
Yeah, you know those parents that are like, yeah, just go up in there and fuck up there.
Was he already
You're like, that's that room.
Yeah.
Was he already a fucking full blown whatever? What did you say? it
Physicist.
was?
So he was in a senior year. He had just graduated with his like physics undergraduate degree, but to be a physicist, you have to go to school forever. So he's about to go to grad school.
Forever.
Yeah.
It's
He
so
would-
different with
that.
boys and girls. Like my dad, like I had to keep the door open. Could not have boys in my room. Not even like upstairs. My brother, on the other hand,
You
like
shut
has
it
his
down,
girlfriend
didn't you?
upstairs. Door can be shut. He was like, "It's different. You're my daughter."
It was
I'm
the
like,
opposite at my house.
So
Because
weird.
my mother worked in family court. And so she was like, you don't, like, you be safe. You can have sex. Don't make a baby. Know
Right.
what you're getting
Make
into.
sure you get pregnant by a rich guy.
yeah.
That was lesson number 2. No. Yeah. So I have an arranged.
Don't ever swallow unless you love him.
That's pretty cool though.
It was fun. It's wild, and because we were 23. I was 23 when I got married, which is insane.
That's young.
That is
Very.
so young. You don't know who you are. Your brain's not developed all the way. And then we've actually almost been divorced 3 times in the last 22 years. But we've always gone to counseling, come back to each other as the new people we're like the next level of person we're ready to be, and it gets stronger. It gets more. We're more in love. It's more real. It gets better. It's fascinating to me.
I think comedy helps your marriage out probably because you get all the frustration out on the stage.
Well,
Do you think it's been better because of that?
it's so much better just because I'm such an extrovert, and my husband can only take so much of me ear fucking him. Okay, like, he needs a break. Bless his heart, and he's like, "Yes, go. You're gonna be happier when you come back."
Yeah.
Tell us the rest of like the month you got out. Is it just in Atlanta? Or are you gonna be like in different
I just
states?
got into so I've been doing the World Series of Comedy. Have you heard of this?
Yep.
You have? Okay.
Yep.
So I did Ohio. P.S.
The whole state.
The whole state knows 2 cities in Ohio. I can't remember the name of the first city. The second one was Youngstown. They're small cities. But my heart is exploding for Ohio because they like dirty humor there. And
Sure.
so I killed. It was so nice. I came back to Atlanta, got into the one in the Punchline. And it was the second show, but I was number 2 on the second show. Same set that actually won one of them, like one of the rounds. Tanked at the Punchline. I'm like, oh, I
Atlanta?
miss you, Ohio.
Yes.
So,
Honey, pack the bags. We're
moving to Ohio.
moving to Cleveland.
There's a musical. Why, oh, why did I ever leave Ohio? There's a song. Sorry, musical theater.
What musical?
I don't know.
See.
Pretty sure there's a University of Miami in Ohio.
There's
There is.
definitely.
Yeah, that's a good school actually, or it was 25 years ago.
The city is Miami, Ohio.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, it is weird. What were we talking about? Oh, so yeah, I got into the one in Las Vegas, but I don't know if I'm gonna go. I have a show on Wednesday night, the Old Fourth Ward Distillery. I have another show in Sandy Spring at Dance It Off Dance Studio. Friday, April 20 something.
When you're back there talking to the other comics that are like, like struggling, like, hey, I don't have enough money to do this. Do you look at them like, my husband's rich?
Yeah.
Well, I
Do
try
you
not
like
to.
rub it right in their face?
Yeah, that sounds like me. Just, do you want to ride in my Tesla, sweetheart?
Yeah, that's too
It
bad.
has
I
the
have
butterfly
nothing
doors.
to lose. That's
Please
too
don't-
bad for you.
I'm going to get a steak and adding the shrimp on the side when I live here.
Yeah.
Please don't
This
touch
is-
the handles. I'll just do the butterfly doors for you. Ding.
Yeah, don't get your poor hands on the handles.
You're a
They're
peasant.
sticky.
But it's a different. You're in a different
And I'm
place.
in a completely different place. My heart goes out to them because you get paid $20 to do a set. You can't make a living off of that. You certainly don't have health insurance.
Passion.
You can't have a family unless you have a spouse.
Barely buys you
who-
one bottle of Pinot Grigio.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it.
It's tough.
Yeah, so you have to
Depends
like,
on what Pinot you're talking about.
You get the little bottles at the gas station.
Yeah, a little 4-pack.
Barefoot, I think it
Yeah, that's
is.
what you want.
that sounds like a hangover.
It is.
I think if you want to be a comedian, you have to find a spouse that is into something very stable with health
Physics.
insurance, and they don't feel like sad about not seeing you a lot because maybe they're in the lab a lot or whatever, and do it that way, or have another job during the day until you really can make money at it.
But they're going through real life, which helps their comedy. It's just different. It's different space, right? Or they don't have a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Right? I don't think I could have done this when I was 23. I don't think I had seen enough yet.
No, and you couldn't even slap somebody for grabbing your ass. So
Yeah, right? I was not as bold.
a lot of
perhaps.
dudes had to grope you for you to get on the stage and do your comedy.
I
Do
think
you have TikTok or anything?
I do have TikTok. Amy Brown Comedy on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and OnlyFans.
I love how you said like this is the difference between like my age group and y'all's age groups, because when she doesn't talk to somebody anymore, she's like, we don't talk anymore, like bad falling out or whatever. You're like, he's blocked on everything.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you could do it like that.
My own family. Fuck them.
He's blocked on everything. Life. I blocked him
what's
on life.
In real IRL.
IRL.
I'm really good at
Like
letters.
IRL.
Anything else? We got it? We got it covered?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Brown Comedy.
Amy Brown Comedy.
That's it.
Hashtag nerdy dirty.
Nerdy Dirty.
ABC.
ABC. Yep.
It's pretty cool.
See you.
It was nice to see you all.
Yeah.
It was
How do we get a hold of you? If somebody wants to book you for one of those
I
women's entrepreneurs.
Are you ready for this shit?
Yes, I do.
This is the best part about being an adult and going into comedy. I'm like, I already was an interior designer for 20 years. So I'm like, oh, this is how you make a website. Like, I have a website. I hired marketing people. So Amy Brown Comedy is my website. You can go to Instagram. I have a link tree. You can sign up for my online updates, which is a seasonal email I
Get
send.
notifications.
And it's not spammy. I hate writing in English or any language, and so it's once a season, and it's what shows are coming up, and then also what I'm watching on comedy, because I'm a comedy fan too. What's come out, what specials, what podcasts I find funny. Do you guys watch South Park?
Sure.
Okay, are you watching the 25th season? Because they have an episode on teenagers, and it is chef's
Awesome.
kiss, chef's kiss. Yeah.
Nice.
I am watching the
love it.
stand-ups on Netflix right now, and it's really funny.
Yes.
Just like it's like
I haven't
because
seen that
a
yet,
bunch of comedians, and they just like do like each episode is a new comedian.
They do like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of a showcase. There's also, you guys do Epics now. It's an app, or Epics is actually a channel if some people have it. They have Unprotected Sets, which is in their 3rd season. And it's also a showcase show where they're presenting up and coming comics. Some of them have been around for a long time, and it's just they haven't gotten famous yet. And
Sure.
so it's really fun to go through and see when a comic comes on stage, how are they presenting themselves to the world?
Sure.
Because they have to separate themselves from all the other comics that came on that day or people saw on YouTube that day. What sets them apart, and then what their comedy's like.
That's on Epic.
Epics, EPIX.
Yeah.
And Wanda Sykes is the producer of that.
Oh,
Nice. She's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's funny as fuck.
They're doing a good job with diversity on that show. Like different kinds of comic stylings and representation.
I mean, that's a full streaming platform, though.
Epics?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can have it as an app, or if you like have that package on cable. Are these old words?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. She's like, what? It's
also-
even a channel. But actually, it's not a channel. It's an app.
Is it not a channel?
I don't think so.
I think it is because you can
Epics
be like,
is, it's like HBO.
yeah.
Okay.
That's an
It was
app.
an app before.
There's
though.
an HBO app.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on
But
Comcast,
it's
you're
smart
saying you can-
TV.
you
It
can
was a
let down
channel
the-
before.
Before
It's an
anything
app
was
now.
an app, there was Epics.
Yeah, like there was Disney
Ah.
Channel,
Same
and now
as-
there's a Disney app.
Yeah, that's it. Plus.
Yeah.
Plus.
We're not
Disney
that.
Plus.
We're younger than you.
History.
We remember.
Ah! I'll see y'all.
Oh, bye. That was fun.
All of the knots, all of the guap, all of the pesos, all of the pollo, all of the knots, all of the guap, all of the pesos, all of the pollo, all of the money, 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 all